Yeah! Here we go!
It's time for TSS Fantasy.
It is Commissioner Cooper.
I could do a whole 49ers show right now.
Ready to rock out with my gavel out.
Oh yeah, baby!
Don't sleep on my Patriots,
And we're ready for football. Is that
Joe Burrow with this wrist? I'm curious.
I find you guilty of all charges.
although you assisted force in this
And please develop some really great games.
DJ Chuck Bass.
This guy has been doing it ever since coming off.
I hope you like the way I pimped
He's
you out.
4 targets in all 3 of the classes.
Scored a touchdown this year.
You know, the great thing about being a football player is you don't have to take a shower to go to work.
There it is.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's week 7, and you're waking up with TSS Fantasy.
Yeah! Let's go. I'm super hyped this morning. I'm ready, bro.
He's super hyped because of baseball.
Spreading
that no one watches. All right, let's get things started. We got a busy show for you today. It is week 7, and a lot of big news coming across like just the day prior, it seems like. So let's get things started today. We'll get our introduction going. Welcome into the studio, Fred the Jester Reyes. Welcome into the studio.
Thank you, man. I'm ready. I am ready today. I think this is one of the most important weeks of football. There's a lot of great games. I am so ready to talk about it. I'm ready.
Yeah, there is a super big amount of good games today. I'm so excited for today. Let's also welcome in Greg OJ, the Juice is Loose Mayor. Welcome in, sir.
Freddie, you ready? Are you sure you're ready? I think you said ready like 6 times.
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. Yo, I think it's the Bustelo, bro.
The Yankees got Freddie lit this morning, boy.
Freddie's going to be taking a bathroom break once we hit a segment, I'm sure. All right, let's also welcome in Justin Jesus Herrera, the Holy One himself. Welcome into the studio.
Oh man, Fred, you got your Juan Soto jersey on? Come on, bro. Is that the fucking Nationals Juan Soto jersey you got on there? Like, that man is a killer. And unfortunately, the Jets are more like the Mets than the Yankees.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm ready.
Greg's hurting because it's true. All right, what's that?
The Jets and Hassan Reddick agreed on a structured contract. Just saying, just came through.
Okay.
Breaking news on TSS. Just saying.
Okay.
Breaking news.
Getting ready for their 1-year run. It's the 1-year run like the Lakers did back in the day. All right, let's get things started. We got to pay those bills first. Go to Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code TSS. Lots of great promos on there, so make sure you check it out. We'll double your deposit up to $100 and a lot of good fantasy games to play, so make sure you check them out. If you're looking for some championship bling, of course, go to Pro Am Belts. No one does it better. And if you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, hit subscribe, get a like, throw your lineup questions in. We appreciate those. Little things stopping you from doing it, big things popping for us when you do. All right. Well, as I mentioned, all this news is just always breaking. Will Levis now, Mason Rudolph now starting for the Titans. We found out yesterday, all kind of crazy stuff. Let's get Brian in, take us inside the medical tent.
A.J. Dillon just went into the medical tent a moment ago.
Big Bri, what is up? Welcome into the studio, my friend. I know we've been keeping you busy. I see you over there on your computer, still looking because it's ever so breaking. Welcome in, my friend.
It is ever so breaking. I didn't even hear this Will Levis news. You just mentioned it, and now I'm scrambling here.
Yeah, that was mentioned Saturday due to the shoulder injury, but maybe they're doing the way of the Steelers and trying to see what Mason Rudolph has to give this putrid offense going. But anyway, welcome in, my brother. Let us know what you got on the injured list today.
All right. Well, we had an exhaustive list on Friday, so I'm not going to go back through the whole thing. I'll just go over the ones that we were kind of on the fence about. So Jordan Mason sounds like he's going to play. Full participant on Friday. The injury designation was removed. good news there for Justin Herrera and his 49ers. Aaron Jones, he's expected to play with his hamstring issue. He was limited in practice and then all of a sudden made the trip over to London, and it sounds like he's going to be good to go. Even though they did trade for Cam Akers recently, it sounds like he is still going to play. Apparently, Travis Etienne is going to be out. There's a lot of reports saying that he's not going to play despite this questionable tag. Now with a new hamstring injury, he had a shoulder issue last week and then developed this hamstring injury last weekend too. So even though he's listed as questionable, most reports are saying he's out. Jonathan Taylor, we know, is out. Ramondre Stevenson, he told reporters that he feels good and he's going to play. He was the one that made the trip overseas, not Aaron Jones. And then Brian Robinson, he is listed as questionable, but he also told reporters that after having the week off last week, he feels back to normal and he is expected to play as well. Rashad White with foot injury, he was upgraded to a full participant. Oh my God, are you guys okay?
Jesus, right? Let me put you on mute, bro.
Yeah,
that's Justin.
I mean, I think I might need to do a whole new report on that. Jeez,
Fred's got COVID.
Yeah, something serious going on in the lungs there. Where was I? Rashad White was upgraded to a full participant. He practiced on Saturday. He should be good to go. Devin Singletary is going to play, but he's going to split time with Tyrone Tracy and Eric Gray, so I'm not so sure he's going to see a lot of action. I think Tyjae Spears and Treylon Burks have both been ruled out for this weekend already. Jerome Ford, we know, is ruled out. Jonathan Brooks still making his return from ACL. He's not ready yet. Marvin Harrison did clear concussion protocol. He's expected to play. Malik Neighbors, same thing. He's off concussion protocol, will be cleared to start today. Cooper Kupp carrying a questionable tag. True game time decision. I'm saying he's not playing. Most reports are saying he's not playing. I'd be shocked if he actually does play. Deontay Johnson, he's expected to play with this ankle issue, and then he had a rib injury pop up late in the week, but it sounds like he's going to be good to go. Mike Evans is officially off the injury report and should be playing, and then Juju Smith-Schuster, dealing with a hamstring injury, listed as questionable, is expected to play. But probably the biggest news of all is that Ricky Pearsall, after being shot during the preseason, is actually going to make his season debut before Christian McCaffrey. How do you figure that?
Wow, indeed. So you did just a quick follow-up. So Mike Evans is trending because the last time I saw they were still kind of game time decision on him, but he is trending to play because I know that's a Monday nighter, and I know a lot of people have got a big question.
According to some, I've seen a few reports that said he's actually off the injury report altogether.
Nice. Okay, good. Yeah. At least we know that because that's going to be a nice fantasy bonanza on Monday night. Can't wait for that. Fellas, anyone else you want to follow up with Bri while he's here? Okay, silence is golden. Appreciate you, Bri. Go check out the Injured List podcast, of course, for all the latest and greatest from Bri. Also, go to Inside the Medical Tent. Him and Brian and Andrew LeDuc do a great job going over some of the injuries over the league. And Bri, where can we follow and get all your stuff as it breaks on social media? And where can we get all that stuff?
Most active on X at Injured List Pod, and then you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at the Injured List Podcast, and then on the website www.theinjuredlist.com.
Nice. All right, we got some questions lined up already, so we're going to hear from our friends from Newer Guard. We'll get back. We'll get to your lineup questions and then hit some weather. Bri, we appreciate you. Go check Bri out, of course, to get any breaking injury news, and trust me, you'll want to do that the way the season has gone. And we'll see you next week, Bri. Appreciate you.
Good. Dr. Michael Hutchison has harnessed the latest in neuromuscular dentistry and impact technology to develop a mouthguard that does more than protect. It enhances. NeuroGuard Plus isn't just a mouthguard. By focusing on the jaw's physiological position, it provides an added layer of neuroprotection, significantly reducing the risk of sports-related neurological injuries. All athletes should be using a custom mouthguard designed to their bite position. NeuroGuard Plus was created as a means to maintain your physiological jaw position regardless of your bite. The appliance is designed to optimize your upper-lower jaw relationship to improve your strength, your balance, your oxygen intake, and drastically lower your chance of a concussion. Independent studies have shown that the NeuroGuard Plus will provide you with improvement to both upper and lower body strength. The same improvements were not present with a common mouthguard. Over 6,500 athletes have used the NeuroGuard Plus. Dr. Hutchison is happy to say that the amount of diagnosed concussions is 0.2%. The NeuroGuard Plus offers athletes, coaches, and parents an advantage to keep their players safe on the field. If you or your child actively participates in athletics, they need to be protected from the dangers of repetitive head trauma. Get your NeuroGuard Plus mouthguard today. Click on the link and use code ILP Sports for 10% discount on your purchase.
All right. Oh, Justin, there's a dog that wouldn't shut up during Jesus. All right, let's go. Let's go with some questions. Dylan already up. Oh, we lost Greg already.
Whoa.
That's up close and personal.
In, dude.
I know. Like, ooh, they got something in your teeth, I think. All right, let's go. We got the first one. What's up, Dylan? Appreciate you for joining us this morning. Do we like Hunter Henry this morning? And let me just answer that right away. Yes, but however, he's got a choice between two leagues. His other options are Calcaterra, Parkinson, and Likely, and in League 2, Disley, and Calcaterra. I'll just say personally, Parkinson is the only one out of the first league that would kind of catch my eye, if you will. I know Cooper Kupp may be back this week, but has to be on a limited count if he is, because they are playing on Thursday as well. I wouldn't imagine they would try to get something that would, inflame the injury at all. So that would just be my take. But Fred, I'll go to you. Is there anyone in here, these tight ends, that you would go over Hunter Henry?
No, not at all. They play in Jacksonville, aren't they?
Correct.
And Jacksonville, yeah, they're pretty terrible. I wouldn't start any of them over Hunter Henry. He'd be my goal.
Justin, how about you? Anyone?
Yeah, Hunter Henry's the way better option here. But Parkinson, I hear what you're saying. If you're looking for that like safe, like 7 to 10 points, then Parkinson's definitely your guy. But I like Henry in this one.
Yeah, Henry should be a good play in this matchup. He says he hates starting these MFers in these London games, but tight ends have been okay over there. True, I hate doing the London game too, to be honest with you. It's kind of the same way I feel about Thursday. Hate doing that first part, and then if they don't show up, you got to stare at those points all week, or at least for a couple days anyway. Kyle, appreciate you, my friend. Full PPR. He wants to pick one Love or Cousins and pick one flex, Chubb, Dobbs, Shakir. Greg, since your internet's back, let's go to you. What do you think?
I like Cousins in this pick. He against that Seattle defense. Seattle defense has been shaky in the secondary, so I'll definitely go with Cousins. In the flex, it's Chubb's first game back. I don't think they're going to give him 20 carries, and Chubb needs that carries to get his rhythm going. I'm gonna go with Dobbs. Over Shakir. You got Amari Cooper coming in. So I'm gonna go with Dobbs over Shakir.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kyle. We appreciate you. Smash that like button. Appreciate that, my brother. Dylan's got another one. Justin got some other decisions here. Full PPR's got 2 here. Different leagues, 1 QB, 1 receiver, 2 flex. So he's got Baker and Richardson, or Whittington, Kirk, Shakir, Dearness Johnson, and Goodson. And the 2 RB, Walker, Jacobs, and Dobbins.
Okay, so I'll go with Baker. I love that game on Monday. That's going to be great. And then for the wide receiver, I think I'd probably lock in Shakir. I think Cooper's going to take the majority of Snead, so I think Shakir is going to be manning that slot position, which is going to be better for him. And then I think I would probably, because I don't know if Kupp is going to be a go this week. I think they've been leaning more on him going next week. So I probably put in Whittington, and man, it's tough because with ETN having his issues, Tank Bigsby, but that whole roster is just an issue. So I think I'd probably just go with Whittington and Kirk instead of one of the running backs. And then if the second question, I would that's a hard one to answer. I think I'd go for sure Dobbins, and then I'd probably go with Walker because he's, Jacobs has only scored 1 touchdown this year. Walker had more touchdowns in 1 game than Jacobs had all season long. So I think that the Seattle-Atlanta game is going to be a lot of fireworks as well.
Yeah, I agree. I like Kenneth Walker in that matchup. And Fred, your mute is not working. You continuously hit red and just cough right in our ear. Just oh dear.
We hear you, Fred. You hear me?
This whole show, all I hear is Fred coughing.
No.
Dearness Johnson.
Dearness
Johnson is interesting only because all
you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Cough again, bro.
Yeah,
we can hear you just fine. Yeah. So Dearness Johnson's interesting because he kind of took the Tanks Bigsby role with ETN out, which kind of confused me. So there's just so much influx, I guess, with that question mark, but he is interesting. And I like actually Goodson too over Trey Sermon because Trey Sermon has had his opportunities and done nothing. And when Goodson's come in, he has done something. Miami's been pretty soft against running backs as well as the Patriots. So that's why I think Dearness Johnson's interesting. Geez, just remember he's relying on this morning game. Got my boys Pop Douglas starting one league. Pray May can hook me up on a sweet day for my dog Pop. Feel you on that. Let's go to T. Let's go to you, Fred. He needs to drop one for a kicker. Geno, Darnold, and Mahomes in a super flex with Jaden Daniels as the starters. He's got ETN, Chase Brown, Pacheco. So he's got to drop one of those guys for a kicker. What do you think? Now you're on mute.
Now I'm on mute. I got you. What? Now I figured it out now, guys.
You got it. You got it.
I'm gonna probably do ETN because he's not been playing well. He's hurt. It's gonna be him or Geno. Darnold, I'm keeping. He's playing out lights out. Mahomes is Mahomes. Daniels is a superstar. Pacheco's coming back, and when he comes back, he's gonna get the ball. And Chase Brown is ascending. So it's gonna be either Geno or ETN. If my choice, I'm probably gonna go ETN.
Yeah, I think out of that group, I don't know. I might do the same too. I mean, you're in a super flex league, don't want to drop your QBs.
Yeah, don't want to drop QBs.
Group right there. Although honestly, he just said he's a projected 48%, so he could possibly win without. Maybe that's something you might want to consider. Not dropping any of that talent, or listen. At the end of the day, if before I drop any type of talent, especially name value, take a quick trip around the league, see if anyone wants to make a trade. See if you can do a 2-for-1. That way you free up a roster spot. All kind of options versus just dropping name talent. Brian wanted to add in the Will Levis is dealing with a grade 2 AC joint sprain despite the week off. So last week he'll likely be out this week. Yes.
Brian looked like he was in Sunday school today.
He was like, what?
Kindergarten.
Dylan says, whoa. Just got where the Pop isn't practicing on the field right now. Please tell me he's playing. Bri, if you're still listening, if you wouldn't mind checking in. Yeah,
I got this one. He's not on the inactives list, so he is playing.
Okay.
I've been searching that since I saw that comment. So yeah, he's good to go.
Look at our guy, Justin, on the team.
Justin, bro.
Cup unlikely to play. Yep.
I'm gonna go to the network and get you a raise, bro.
Somebody's got to do it. All right, let's go back to Greg. Chivalry King. He wants to know Najee or Chubb in the flex this week.
You know I'm a Jets fan, but I'm gonna ride with Najee. The Jets haven't been great against the run. Wilson is starting. He's not mobile. I'm going to go with Najee. Chubb, like I mentioned earlier, coming back from an injury, I do not believe he's going to get a full workload today. So go with Najee.
All right. I like it. Let's go to Justin for the next one. They call me Travis. Should I start Marvin Harrison or Tyreek this week?
Man, I feel this guy's pain because they're both supposed to be good, but they're both kind of stinking it up right now. One because one's a rookie and the other one because, he doesn't have his quarterback. I'd almost go with Tyreek because it's 3 weeks in. You got to figure that McDaniel's got to get his best weapon open at some point. So I'm going to go with Tyreek. Marvin Harrison, it just kind of scares me because the Chargers defense is so good. He's recovering from a concussion. And he's just had this rookie funk throughout the year. It's like he goes hard in one game and then he just doesn't show up on the stat sheet in another. I think they're going to dial something up for Tyreek, so go with Tyreek.
Dial him up, indeed. Marvin Harrison coming off of the concussion. And plus, Chargers D is pretty legit. So, yeah, I'd like that. Dylan, for Fred, you say Henry in London over Mark Andrews?
You know what? I have Mark Andrews in 2 of my leagues, and man, he has been doing nothing for me. I mean, absolutely not. I think he had 1 good week, and it might have been last week. So yeah, when you get New England versus Jacksonville, I mean, Jacksonville is not any good. I still would probably take a chance on Henry over Mark Andrews.
I like it. Dylan thinks that's pretty funny. Let's go to Greg Triple Hunt. He wants to know Tutu or Whittington since Cup is out. This is full PPR.
Every time Cup or Puka goes out, Tutu steps up, man. I like Tutu in this in the slot. Stafford looks for him, so I'm gonna go with Tutu.
All right, last one before we hit the weather from Dylan. Justin, Waddle or Bateman this week?
Man, that's I don't know flip the coin at this point. But anyways, no, I'm sorry, Dylan. No, I'm not gonna give you that advice. You know what? I'm actually gonna say I'll say this. I think Waddle, because Bateman's been real spotty and Henry's been taking away so much opportunity for this wide receiver core outside of Zay Flowers. I'm gonna go Waddle. If Tyreek gets something, I know Waddle's got to get something too. And Tyler Huntley, man, it's 3 weeks in. You got to show me something, son. If you want to keep this job, show me something. Let's go.
Rashad Bateman has been, kind of, pedestrian, I guess, to say the least. But I do want to say this matchup on Monday night's pretty juicy for anyone. So I might be leaning toward Bateman, where I see a little more points being scored on the board. All right, let's get on with it. Thank you guys so much for all your questions. Got any more? We'll get to them in a few, but let's hit some weather.
It's time for the weather report.
All right, and our weather report today, kickers and QBs you don't need to worry about. Broncos at Saints, Seahawks at Falcons, Dolphins at Colts, Lions at Vikings, Raiders at Rams, and Chargers at Cardinals, all on Dome State today, so no need to worry about weather there. Jags versus Patriots here in a little bit in London, 62 degrees. Supposed to be raining in this matchup, and winds are 9 miles an hour. Sounds like a London day to me. Titans at Bills, 66 degrees. It's clear skies. Winds are 10 miles an hour. Bengals at Browns, same thing, 66 degrees. Clear skies. Winds over 8 miles an hour there. Texans at Packers, 71 degrees. Clear skies. Winds are 12 miles an hour. Eagles at Giants, 72 degrees. Clear skies. Winds are 3 miles an hour. Panthers at Commanders, 73 degrees, clear skies, 2 miles an hour. This is a great day for football. Chiefs at Niners, 75 degrees, and they got to bring us down with a mostly cloudy, and winds are 5 miles an hour. Jets at Steelers, 63 degrees, clear skies, winds are 3 miles an hour. And Ravens at Bucks, Monday Night Delight, 76 degrees, clear skies, and winds are at 9 miles an hour set for that matchup. So a lot of good weather going on this week for some of these games. Got to be excited for that. All right, well, it's time to get to some ultimate DFS lineups, but let's get you pumped up a little bit first. Hear from our boy Bandy with his flex starts of the week.
It's time for Bandy's flex starts of the week. Thank you for that banging intro, Coop.
If you're some man, what the rock is cooking.
That's right, baby. It's that time again. It's your boy Bandy from the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast, back with another edition of Bandy's Flex Starts of the Week. Let's just jump right into it, man. Hey, coming up first, the guy that you can throw in your flex spot this week is a guy that kind of got a little bit going last week, man. And with Nico Collins out, my guy Tank Dell is going to kill it again this week. Throw him in your flex spot. Start him up with confidence this week. Moving on to the next guy. A guy that's kind of been flying under the radar, especially in them deeper leagues. But Jacoby Myers is out. Devontae Adams is hanging out with Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show. So it's got to be Trey Tucker. Coming in with some points on a not so great Raiders team, but still going to get you where you need to be this week. Moving on to the last guy on my list. This guy freaking went crazy last week on a team where the quarterback threw 4 touchdowns. My guy got a few of them. I'm talking about Romeo Dobbs. This is a guy that we know had it in him, but he just hasn't been able to deliver. But he delivered for us last week. I think he's going to deliver for you this week. Start up Romeo Dobbs with confidence this week, baby. For more fantasy football love, glory, and W's, come check out the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, anywhere. Google Fourth and Flex and you'll find ya boys.
Thank you.
All right. Go check out the Fourth and Flex podcast. I know a little bit later they'll be doing some starts and sits as well, so make sure you go check them out. All right, fellas, we're pumped up now. We're ready to go. Let's get some ultimate DFS lineups.
The power of the Ultimate Warrior.
All right, let's start off this week. Let's do it a little bit different because we got a kind of a twofer. We're going to start out with our jobber from last week. And, of course, he drops the belt in the meantime. It's our boy Fred, who was champ the week prior. But this week, we didn't even crack 100. Ugh. Thank you, Justin. I was just scrolling down. Appreciate you helping me out there. Yes, not that great of a week. Jordan Love, of course, was your outstanding player, but drops the belt as our jobber this week. Crazy enough. All right, let's go to our next runner-up, if you will. Justin comes in. At least he broke 100. Got Brian Robinson and Derrick Henry and Jordan Love as a nice little trio there this week. We'll go to the next one, which is our boy Greg. Had a decent week this week, 122.1, kind of spreading the love around with his lineup as well. Had a nice stack with Jackson and Flowers last week. And our boy LeDuc comes in as our Intercontinental Champion. Again, still doing LeDuc type things because your new champion only by a point is your boy, the commish. 1 freaking point separated me and LeDuc. Cousins, McLaurin, Tyrone Tracy, Breece Hall, and the Bucks D came in big. So, yes, your boy is here. Go ahead, hit it for me.
His name is John C.
As our boy says, you can't see me. All right, let's go to the week 7, and I'll go ahead and start it off. Baker Mayfield. I mean, there's a few matchups this week that you really wanted to get in. I think I try to show it here with my lineup, and that's one of them. That Bucks Ravens matchup is juicy. Bucks are 30th against fantasy QBs, so I love it. Tony Pollard, 31st against Buffalo's 31st against fantasy running backs, so that's a good play there. Alexander Madison was more of a cheaper play for me this week with the Rams D, 24th against fantasy running backs. So at least should see some action from Madison this week against the soft Rams front 7. Jordan Addison, going back to those games that I like. If you watch Sophistication Station, I almost duplicated what LeDuc said because we got 2 defenses that are really porous against fantasy receivers. So I got Addison and I like Jameson Williams as well. So 2 decent matchup plays and a pretty cheap price. Christian Watson versus Houston, who's okay in the secondary, 16th against receivers. Got in the end zone last week. I think this would be more of a shootout type game. So I like that. So this is just another game. I think we'll see a lot of fantasy production. Same with the Atlanta Seahawks game. And why not go with Pitts with Seahawks 28th against fantasy tight ends? I think it's a good matchup. Chris Godwin, even though Mike Evans is a go, he will be a little hobbled in this matchup. And again, love everything about it. He's got my stack with Baker. Baltimore's 30th against fantasy receivers. And then I went with Bills D. We know how putrid this Titans offense is. I don't care who's starting, Mason Rudolph, whatever you want, does not matter. I like Bills D a lot today. It's a good play. Here, let me show you LeDuc's lineup since he's been the man all season long. Sam Darnold, another decent play in this and a good matchup. He went with Tyrone Tracy this week, also with Tony Pollard. He duplicated the Jameis Williams and Jordan Addison play. He got Slayton in there, which I stayed away from after we suggested him a couple times last week. Zach Ertz is a decent play, and then Bengals D. All right, Greg, you're up next, my brother. Let's talk about your ultimate DFS lineup.
Well, I like Matthew Stafford against the Raiders. They're 24th against fantasy quarterbacks. I think I'm just going to have a huge game against Arizona because they suck against the run. Brian Robinson Jr. is back. The knee is healthy. And Carolina defense, in short terms, they're not good. So I think he's going to have a huge day. I went with, just like you and DeLuke, I went with Jordan Addison. I think he's going to have a good game. Zay Flowers has been showing up the last 2 weeks and proven to be the number one receiver out there in Baltimore. And I love the matchup against Tampa Bay on Monday night. He's going to shine. I like Deontay Johnson against Washington. I think that's going to be sort of a shootout because Washington defense is not that great either. And Deontay's been showing up ever since Andy Dalton's been took over as a quarterback. I took Brown with the Bengals. It's kind of a tough matchup, but he's going to get the ball, and I think he's going to have at least 1 or 2 big runs and maybe get a touchdown, fall in the end zone. Again, Monday Night Football. Wait, I have Pitts down as my tight end. Cool.
Yeah, apparently I missed that because I still had your tight end from last week. My bad. You're good.
Dang, dog, you're trying to do me in, but I like it. And with the money left over, I like the Giants against Philly. It's a division game. The Giants defense been playing defense, and been playing decent, and Philly is not playing as well as it looks like. So I like the Giants defense against Philly.
I'm just gonna let you know, Greg, Mary Jane's laying in bed. Her first comment was, "How dare you?" All right, let's go to Justin and your ultimate DFS lineup.
Oh, she's gonna love me then too, huh? I went with Geno. I started out with Geno Smith. He's the league leader in passing yards, and I think he's going to retain that title this week because this is a team that's going in against the Falcons, who have been better, but they still have allowed passers to kind of throw it all over the field against them. Andy Dalton had a good game last week, Baker the previous week, and Derek Carr. He Derek Carr'd it, but he still had some good passing yards in the 3 weeks ago in their matchup. So I'm going to go Geno here. It's a cheaper option. And that saves up money for B. John Robinson and Kyron Williams, who I think is going to be a great 1-2 punch for me this week. B. John is playing Seattle, which offers a ton of opportunities to the running backs, as we saw last week when Isaac Rendo broke off a nice run at the end of the game. Jordan Mason was having himself a game before he went out as well. And then Kyron Williams against the Raiders. I think this game is going to be totally dictated on the ground. I don't think Matthew Stafford's going to have to do a lot because I think Kyron Williams is going to dominate this game. My receivers, I went with Devonta Smith. I think that Devonta Smith tends to have really good games when it comes to the New York Giants. I don't know what it is. He could be a giant killer, but whatever the formula is, it always seems to work when you play Devonta Smith against the Giants. Juju Smith-Schuster against the 49ers, it hurts my heart, but I know that the 49ers are going to give up points. I'm not going to be, silly and think that, it's going to be a blowout or anything like that. Like, I'm not that much of a homer. So I think Juju's going to have a decent game against the 49ers at $4,000. That's a steal. And then I want Christian Watson, another steal, 4,900. Just came back last week, got a touchdown. I think that they continue this formula, especially with Wicks nursing a shoulder injury. I think Watson's going to be that big guy that you see downfield for Jordan Love this week. Terry McLaurin, love the matchup against Carolina, especially because Carolina's been competitive. And Washington's defense is not so great, so they're going to give up points. They're going to need to throw the ball. They're going to need to get McLaurin open and hopefully gets a touchdown. Jatavion Sanders, welcome to relevance, my friend. You have finally been spoken on the show. You have made it, my friend. Jatavion Sanders, though, with Deontay Johnson a little bit banged up and their options really dwindling there, he's kind of stepped up, and I think he'll step up. And if he gets a touchdown this week, he's going to step up in a big way for you at 2,900. Then finally, I will echo what Greg said. The Eagles aren't shit. They aren't fucking shit. They aren't that good. Washington runs that division. Go Giants. Giants at 2,500.
I just heard wow. And
Wow.
oh my god.
heard
Oh
it
my
too.
god.
I heard that shit too.
Wow.
I just
Listen,
want to
I didn't
say
say that, Mary Jane. I did not say that. I just said it's going to be a good game. Justin said ain't shit. Wow.
I just want to say though too that I do like how Justin set the bar and the NFL standard for players that they've truly made it once they're mentioned on this show. Gotta love it. All right, Fred, let's make up for last week. What do you got for your ultimate DFS lineup?
All right, here we go, man. Here we go. I had to be a homer this week. I've never picked him all season. He has Devontae and Garrett Wilson. They're playing the Steelers Sunday Night Football. We're going with Aaron Rodgers. Thank you, 5,700. That's not too bad. I had to go for a good, decent running back combo. I do like Dobbins against Arizona. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. And whenever you play Arizona, you know it's going to be a good fantasy scoring game. Gibbs playing the Vikings. I think he's going to be the go-to guy. The Vikings, if I remember correctly, they have a nice secondary. I forgot his name. From Miami, he used to play for Miami, but that guy's a beast out there. Yeah, that guy is amazing. McLaurin, like we said, Washington has been playing well. They might be the cream of the crop in that division. I wasn't believing it earlier, but they definitely showing it now. I'm not going to sleep on Michael Pittman again. He made me shut up he shut us up last week. Jerry Jeudy is the only receiver. I mean, you got rid of Amari Cooper. He has to throw to somebody. I would throw to my man Jerry Jeudy, just like I think it was Justin said, Christian Watson. He finally came back. He got a score. They're playing the Texans, two great young quarterbacks. I think that's going to be a special game. I can't wait to watch it. I've been riding with Trey McBride. I like the way I like the matchup, the division matchup with the Chargers. And like I said, whenever you play with Kyler Murray, for some reason Murray has nice fantasy scores when whoever plays with each other. And then I went with the Patriots. The Jags are just not good. Spend the extra $200. I know everybody went with the Giants. I went with the Patriots with the extra $200 because I had it. But the Jags are just not good. They had one good game, which was, to me, it was just an outlier. You got lucky. I think the Jags are just that bad.
So not to correct you, sir, but just to throw it out there, just want to make sure our people know. The Vikings actually are really good against the run. They're number 2 against fantasy running backs, and they are actually dead last in the league against receivers. Just so you know.
Right. I seen the guy from what was his name again? How you pronounce his name?
Van Ginkel.
That guy is a monster with the pick sixes. I was like, I'd rather run the ball if I'm Detroit because that guy is amazing. And I don't know how I let him go.
Yeah, again, not to toot my own horn, but go back to our summer tour. We did the NFC North show. We had the Vikings people on. It was the first thing I mentioned after they were done was that was the biggest mistake Miami made was letting Van Ginkel go. He didn't cost you much, and he gives me Jason Taylor feel. And I hate to say it like that, but it's true. He gives you that rush off the edge and then gives you that playmaking ability to make interceptions and then take them to the dang house. So indeed. All right, let's get to some few questions before we get to our picks. It's supposed to be rainy, wet conditions in London. Does that change your mind on questions with Henry, and does that worry about Pop Douglas? I forgot what order we're in. We'll just go to Justin. What do you think on that one?
It doesn't change my mind about Henry because, even if it's rainy and wet conditions, they're going to still be looking for a bigger target in the red zone. And then Pop Douglas, if you're in PPR, Pop Douglas still has a lot of value. If you're in anything like half PPR and standard, maybe look for a different option because, Pop's a good slot receiver, but who knows? They could be going to mostly the ground game in this one. So, like I said, it wouldn't change my mind about Henry because your other options, Calcaterra. If Goddard can't get anything going in this pitiful Eagles offense, no, I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. If he can't get anything going in this offense at tight end position, then why the hell would we think Calcaterra could?
All right, we got a question from our fat golfer, so we'll go to our fat bowler, Fred. Good morning, guys. And my flex, should I play Wanda Robinson or Singletary, who splits carries with Tracy, or Rashad White, who splits with Bucky? What do you think, Fred?
I know Tracy's been coming on lately the last 2 weeks, but I would. My flex, should I play Wando, Robinson, or Singletary? I'm not going to pick anybody who splits with anybody in anything. So I'm going to go with Wandale Robinson, the wide receiver. Singletary's coming back. I think he's going to get majority of the carries. And Rachaad White, I believe the same thing. I'll go Wandale Robinson.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors coming back from the concussion, but he's also tweaked, and I forget what it was. Now, I apologize. Should have brought it up to Brian. He's also coming in with another, slight injury as well. But even with Malik in, Wandale Robinson was seeing lots of passes. So I definitely would go with Wandale. Sean apparently is confused about Fred. I'm not sure what he's confused about, but Sean, if you could elaborate.
Why is Fred? Maybe he's confused about Justin.
Greg, let's go to you from Sean Witowski. What do you think about drafting Nick Chubb on the cheap? Maybe, maybe picking him up or trading for him, I think is what he meant on the cheap. What do you think?
Or is he talking about daily fantasy? I'm not sure.
Maybe either way, but
what do
you think on the cheap for today? At least we could do it from there.
No, I'm gonna stay away from Chubb this week. Like I said, it's his first week back, man. He's got to get himself acclimated with the offense, and not this week. I would stay away from Chubb this week.
I brought that up to Bri on our Friday show because, from I'm also a therapist. So from a clinical standpoint, I feel like if a staff is saying you're good to go, I don't understand why you would be on a pitch count, quite frankly. I feel like Chubb's going to get in the end zone today, honestly, just because they're trying to get him back acclimated. I don't think he has this huge fantasy day, mind you, but I think he at least gets in the end zone. And yeah, he elaborated on DFS. DFS play might not be bad, especially it depends on how cheap he is. I apologize. I don't know how much he's going for, but depending on how else your lineup's stacked, might not be a bad flex option for you this week, depending, again, how cheap he is to play. Justin, let's go to you from Preston. Should I play Jordan Addison or Demario Douglas in the flex? Looking for a replacement for Kupp, projected to miss.
Go with Jordan Addison. I think this is going to be a much bigger game. The Minnesota Lions game is, like I said on the Friday show, it feels like it's going to be the Green Bay Minnesota game where it's just going to be fireworks until the end, and the winner is going to be whoever runs out the clock.
Vikings, as I mentioned, dead last against receivers, and on the Lions side, they are 29th against fantasy receivers. So get ready for some fun fireworks in that matchup. A lot of good fantasy games, like I said today. We're excited, and we want to get you paid as well. Unfortunately, no Ariel this week, but we do got a guy in the back. He sits out in the shed, and all he does all day is smoke weed and make prop bets. So let's check it out.
Hey. Smoke weed every day.
Top of the morning. Ooh, good one. It is week 7, and we are on the positive side of the ledger. We got early morning football, and all is right with the world. That QB rush parlay flopped last week, but everything else came through. As you can see, still have a residence, so let's remain on that upward trajectory, starting with Jordan Addison. Over 4.5 receptions, plus 115. Nobody gives up points to the slot receivers like these Detroit Lions. I expected this to be 5.5. Therefore, I perceive it has some value. Brock Bowers over 69.5 receiving yards. Nice. Plus 120. He has been heavily involved over the last couple games. And now with Devontae gone, he's going to need to contribute even more on the offensive side of the ball. In a related story, we're taking a couple first touchdown props I found walking down Narrative Street yesterday. First one is Saquon Barkley, plus 400. Sirianni's a player's coach. Saquon has an axe to grind with these Giants. So if it's a first and goal situation, I think our boy is probably going to get first and probably second and maybe even third shot at it, if that proves to be necessary. And then Devontae Adams, plus 800. Seriously? Rodgers already knows every play he's going to run on that first drive, and it all culminates with a fade route to Adams in the corner, and we're getting 8-1 on that. That is fantastic news, and we have to take it. Even if we get one of these, we're in business, but we probably get both. Best of luck, as we probably do need a little bit of it today, but regardless, I will see you next week. More degeneracy. Have a good one.
Damn!
All right, I saw Fred excited for that Devonta Adams first TD prop.
Bro, I went right on Hard Rock real quick.
I love it. All right, let's get to our picks for today.
We're on a mission, guys. We're on a mission, guys.
All right, let's see, of course, our picks from last week. And ooh-wee, boy.
Wow, y'all did really good.
That's not bad, though.
We all did really fucking good.
Everyone did really good last week. We actually looked like experts last week, believe it or not. Looking pretty good all the way around. But for the season results, ooh-wee, we got
I'm coming, baby.
guys.
I'm coming.
We got two guys up top. Fred's in the middle. Justin and Greg are leading the rear, if you will. Before
500, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Pulling up the rear. I'm the hitch, and he's what I'm towing.
All right, let's get to our first one coming up right after we sign off today. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars against New England Patriots in London. Patriots lead the series 12-2. Patriots, last time they played was in 2022, and they won 50-10. The Jags are favored by 6, crazy enough, and the over-under is 42. We'll go to you, Fred, first. Who do you like in the matchup?
You're muted. You're muted. Jesus.
Oh, that's good because I was like, I know you're gonna do that.
Get it together, Fred.
Well, you're the first one here, so I just go the first one I see.
All right. So I picked the Jags, and I was just talking junk about them. So I picked the Jags. They're playing in England. It's like their second home. I think they're gonna take advantage of the quarterback Drake May. So go with the Jags.
The problem is I asked you guys to make these picks early in the week, so then you kind of just forget. I get it. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Greg, who you like?
I like the Jags. They're playing at home. London is their second home. I like Tank Bigsby. I think this is I know Freddie said Jacksonville only had one good game. I think this is going to be their second good game. So I like the Jags in this game.
I like it. But what do you like, Justin?
Yeah, so I actually have a prop for you. Which airline do you think that Doug Peterson's going to be flying home on? Because he ain't going to be flying home with the team. His ass going to be fired after the Patriots win this game. Drake May is going to outperform the Wonder Kid, and they're going to say, we can't win in London. We can't win in Jacksonville. We can't win with Doug Peterson. He already talked about it, culture change. When you start talking culture change from the quarter or from the coach's perspective, dude, you are the culture. You set the culture. Guess what? That means that you're calling for yourself to get fired. Let's go. Get him fired. Send him home on Southwest. Let's make a prop out of it.
I think he'll be flying Frontier if they make it all the way over there. But yeah, I like the Jags in the matchup only because, as we mentioned, I mentioned it last week. I thought the Jags would play decent against the Bears, being that they're so used to playing in London. They stayed there all week, so I can't imagine they're having any of that lag. And I like them in this particular matchup. I think these are two bad teams that just, again, it kind of home field advantage for the Jags today. All right, let's go to the next one. Exciting as we get things started. Lions at the Vikings. Vikings lead the overall series 80-43-2. The Lions swept them last year 30-20 and 30-24. It's 3 in a row for the Lions. Minnesota's favored by 1.5. The over-under is 50.5. What do you think, Greg?
I think the sweep continues. I think the streak continues for the Lions. I like David Montgomery. He's a beast. But like you said before, Minnesota is 29th against the pass, and I think this is Amon-Ra St. Brown come-out game against a division rival. He has a big game, and Jameson Williams gets a big pass over the top for 80 yards. So I like the Lions this week.
I like the juice that the Lions have, even though obviously the Aiden Hutchinson injury obviously hurts them. But I don't think they'll need much defense today. I don't think defense will be a factor in either team. So I like the Lions too, just offensively. Fred, who do you like in this one?
I like the Lions. I just think they're a better team. The way they showed out against Dallas. I mean, them boys look like they're all in with their coach, and they took his mindset, and they playing, man. They playing great football.
They are indeed. Justin, what do you say?
It's a new year. It's a new QB. It's a new winning streak. We're gonna go 1-0 after this game for the Vikings. Yeah, I mean, shit. I don't know why there's so much disrespect on the Vikings. The last time the Vikings played against the Packers, you made me the lone wolf too, and I made you fools look like fools. Because guess what? The Vikings are for real, and they are one of the last undefeated teams, and hopefully the last after this.
Go ahead and ring him up. The lone wolf in this matchup. It's not, it wouldn't be crazy if the Vikings won. So, like I said, I think this just comes down to who has the ball at the end of the game. But I just like the Lions juice a little more going in. Vikings coming off a bye. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's bad. Really just depends. They are playing at home. So I wouldn't be surprised if Vikings won, but I do like the Lions overall in the matchup.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
I think the glass slipper falls off of Sam Darnold this game. I think the ride is over. I think the ride is over.
It's got to at some point.
Yeah.
Titans at Bills. Titans lead this series, crazy enough, 30-20. Last time they played was in 2022. The Bills won 41-7. Buffalo's favored by 9.5, and crazy enough, the over/under is 41. May just be 41 zip. Let's not waste time, of course, on the ones we like. Hammer it down. We all like the Bills today. I don't think much needs to be said. Mason Rudolph led Titans for sure going to struggle. And for who the hell this full game streaming is, we got it. You guys are streaming NFL games. I got like 50 comments.
Yeah, man.
Like, quit spamming us. We got it already. Jesus. All right, let's go.
Like us, subscribe, and put on a notifications bell. Do something for us.
Yeah, dude, tighten up, will you? Jesus, please give us a like, something. Damn. All right, let's go with the matchup of the day with America's team, the Miami Dolphins, which, by the way, I forgot to mention, Tua will be back to practice next week and hopes to play the following week. So let's go. Dolphins lead this series 48-28. Last time they played was in 2021. The Colts won 27-17. Indianapolis favored by 3, and the over-under is 43.5. Justin, who you like?
I'll go with the Colts this week. They seem like the better defense. They're starting to pick up some steam. And then, on offense, I really wish Joe Flacco was playing. So then I would know for sure that the Colts were going to win. But, I still think Anthony Richardson has the ability to not fuck it up, especially against the Dolphins.
The hammer?
Everybody picked the Colts, right? A hammer my
down,
ass.
Right? Hammer down, right?
Hammer it down.
Fred, who you like?
I mean, we got to go with the Colts, man. Miami's still starting Huntley. I mean, maybe if Tua was there, it'd be a little bit different. But we definitely gonna go with the Colts, man. There's no way.
I got a question though.
And we got to stop calling both these teams America's teams. Dallas and Miami, they're toast, man.
Your team's toast. You got a 1-year wonder. Anyway, what are you gonna say, Justin?
Does Fred go with any other team than the Colts?
Yeah, exactly.
He's more
Play Miami
at this point.
No,
listen.
Colts fan, bro.
The Jets play the Colts. The Jets play the Colts in 2 weeks. I guarantee you, I'm gonna pick the Jets.
All right, who you like, Greg?
I'm going with the panel. I'm going with everybody. Everybody picked the Colts, right? Like if Flacco's playing,
yeah,
hell yeah.
They're hammered
down. No.
Oh, we got a lone wolf.
You already know, bro. It's America's team of Miami Dolphins. A little bit. I think we're gonna have a little bit of a little gusto, if you will, going in this matchup, knowing Tua's gonna be back. Just need one more. Just get one more win, and we're back to our winning ways with Tua back in the helm. So I like Miami today. Colts are just whatever. They're not that good. Not that Miami's played that well, but I believe the rushing attack will be enough today to take care of these Colts. And I'm not worried about Joe Flacco. All right, let's go. Seahawks at Falcons. Seahawks lead the series 12-9. Last time they played was in 2022. The Falcons won 27-23. Falcons are favored by 3. The over-under is 51.5. Fred, who you like in this one?
Well, Fred likes the Atlanta Falcons. They're just a better team. And Seattle is on a 3 or 4 game losing streak. So we're going to go with the Atlanta Falcons.
All right, Atlanta Falcons. All right, what do you think, Greg?
I like Seattle, man. Like you mentioned earlier, I forgot who it was, that Geno's leading the league in passing. He's leading the league in attempts. And Atlanta's defense is trash against the pass. So I think this is going to be a good game for Geno, DK Metcalf, and JSN. Also, Kenneth Walker, I'm telling you, he's a league winner. And he may be sick, but I think he's going to have a couple of touchdowns this week. Atlanta defense is terrible.
And there goes Greg going back to the bottom.
What do you like, Justin?
Dirty Birds. Dirty Birds all day.
I hope you're not the lone wolf, Greg.
Well, the thing,
I'll be the lone wolf, baby.
He actually is the lone wolf, but I messed that one up when I wrote down. Somehow I had you for Seahawks, and I was looking around to see if anyone else did it. So Greg is our lone wolf. Sorry, I don't have you dressed up as a wolf on this one, but he is our lone wolf. Liking.
I don't believe Freddie. I believe Freddie did pick Seattle.
No, I looked. I actually looked in the text messages. I was like, I know how Fred is. So I was like, let me look, because he didn't sound too sure of his pick neither. So it's funny. But yeah, he definitely
was not sure. He winged it, boy.
Good morning, Brad, my friend. You are the man, bro. And the Bears are looking like the man. Got a nice bye week this week. Go check out, if you're a Bears fan, make sure you go check out Brad and the Unbearable Sports Podcast. Even if you're just a football fan in general, Brad's got some great stuff. Appreciate you checking in with us this morning.
Definitely. And don't forget, go to All Game Streaming on NFLGTV.com.
Right, yeah, don't forget our unpaid sponsor, apparently, All Game Streaming on. Sorry, Sean's comment here. We got AR is playing and A-Chan is back. Colts have one of the worst rush defenses in the league. Agreed. See, I try to tell you.
Okay, Jason.
All right.
Ooh.
Let's go to the next one. We got a unexciting matchup. Bengals at Browns. Bengals lead the series 53-48. They split last year, 31-14 Bengals, 24-3 Browns. Cincinnati's favored by 5.5. Over under is 41.5. Justin, who you like?
Play Jameis Winston. I'm not going to comment on anything else until they play Jameis Winston. Play him. God,
put the hammer down. We won't waste time. We like the Bengals. I like the Bengals in this matchup. That Browns have definitely got some issues. What happened to that big defense too? Just all kind of craziness for the Browns. All right, let's go to the next one. Texans at Packers. That's going to be a fun one. Packers lead the series 4-1. Only played 5 times. Packers, last time they played was in 2020, and the Packers won 35-20. They won 3 in a row in the series. Not saying much, but Green Bay is favored by 3. The over-under is 48.5. So let's go to Greg. Who you like in this one?
I'm in love with Jordan Love, baby. Let's go Green Bay. I think the return of Romeo Doubs opens up for Christian Watson on the other side. Let's go Green Bay. Keep it short.
Justin, who you like?
Pack is back, baby. Pack is back. I love that as well. I think Jordan Love has a good game. And I think the Packers, this is another one of those games, like you were saying, Coop, you got to run it out to win it. And I think that the Packers are going to be the ones that have the ball last and run it out.
Yeah, I think they have the more effective offense, as it will going into the, which is crazy to say going in. I would never, and I keep doubting this Packers team, and they keep up. And it's funny because
they have
this is
better defense. Is what it is.
Right.
If you really look at it, they're leading the league in turnovers right now. They have the better defense, is what it is.
And
they're doing real good.
What's ironic about it is both these teams, for me anyway, just from a personal standpoint, I'm always doubting the Packers, and they end up doing better than what I think. And I'm always putting the Texans on a higher expectation. They always play down to what I think. So I'm going to go Packers as well. But Fred, who do you like?
I like the Texans, man. You got two very good quarterbacks, but the Texans have a good pass rush. And I don't know if you've been watching the Packers games lately. Jordan Love does throw some errant passes. I mean, especially the one out the end zone. I mean, and he's good for 1 a game now. So I'm going with the Texans.
There goes Freddie to the bottom.
Did the Wolf play? All right. Like I hit it. It didn't even play. Our boy Fred, the lone wolf in the matchup. Again, another great game. NFL definitely blessing us this morning. Couple of quick questions we got from Evan here. We'll go to Fred for you. Do you like Tank Bigsby this week or Aaron Jones?
Wait, is Aaron Jones even playing? Did he fly?
Yeah. Brian said he was on and trending to play.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with Aaron Jones. Go ahead.
And ETN is out, so just wanted to throw that out there for you, Fred.
Yeah, but Tank Bigsby, I played him last week. He's gonna hurt my damn DFS, man, with that 2.7 points. You know what? I'm going Aaron Jones, man. Forget Tank.
I don't trust Aaron Jones with that hamstring, hip, and they got Cam, they got Ty Chandler. I would go with Tank Bigsby. I ain't touching Aaron.
You gotta go Tank. I really don't want to touch either one.
I mean, if Aaron Jones has got a good matchup. Again, we talked about the Detroit is a little same way that they are better in their better against the rush. But you expect a lot of points in this matchup between the Lions and the Vikings. So I'd like to have anyone really in that. I'm just not uncertain of how much this Jaguar offense is going to get going. So for me, it'd be Aaron Jones just because of the matchup anyway. All right, let's go to you, Greg, on this one. It's from Aiden. Appreciate you, Evan. Appreciate you, Aiden. He's got some tough decisions here, so he needs 2 flex. He needs to start 2 and he's need to make the decision soon. Tank Bigsby, Ramondre, or McConkey?
Tank and Ramondre. That's it. McConkey, like he mentioned, is questionable, but Ramondre's back. He's healthy. Tank Bigsby has nobody to share the backfield with. Actually, he's going to get the volume, so I'm going to go with Tank and Ramondre.
I like it. Let's go to Layden's got another one here. McConkey's questionable. Yeah, I don't think I'd put him in there. Justin from Brandon. Thank you, Brandon, and thank you, Aiden. Well,
DeMario Douglas questions today. Jeez.
I know he's been up there. Last week we had a lot of somebody else. I forgive. Now it's DeMario Douglas this week, or Wandell on the flex. What do you think?
Jeez.
Well, last week it was a lot of Slayton, but DeMario Douglas has been really good. I would go with Wandale though, because if it is raining, it will affect the rookie quarterback. And Wandale has just been with or without Neighbors has been just consistently a good flex play. So I would go with the guy who's been in the consistent, measures of having Malik Neighbors, and then you have this weak Eagles defense. I'm gonna go with Wandale Robinson instead of DeMario Douglas for this week.
Justin trying to get me on the couch. Craig wants to know, and thank you, Craig, for the question. Jordan Love or Joe Burrow?
Oh man, Joe Burrow or Jordan Love. Like I just spoke about Jordan Love, so I don't want to eat my word. I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow because Cleveland has this stellar defense has not been there. And they talking about this Cincinnati. They lose again today. Their season's over. So that's a must win. And the only way you're going to win is by Joe Burrow throwing that ball, slinging the rock to Higgins and to Jamar Chase.
I'm going to disagree. And the only reason why is because I feel like there's more possibility for the Texans to keep the Packers having to throw this football to keep in this football game, where I feel like you could see the Bengals get up pretty quick on the Browns and not have to see much of it. So that would just be where my head would be at on that one. All right. Thank you guys so much for your questions. Let's move on. Next matchup, Eagles at the Giants. Eagles lead the series 93-88-2. They split last year 27-10 Giants and 33-25 Eagles. Eagles are favored by 3.5. Over under is 42.5. So Fred, who you like in this one?
I usually pick the Giants just for shits and giggles and maybe as an upset special, but not this time. I'm going with the Eagles. Saquon's going back to New York.
Greg, what do you think?
For your sake, I'm pleading the fifth, and Mary Jane understands that. I'm not saying anything. You know who I picked, Jason. We just gonna leave it at that.
Justin don't even care, so we'll just go to him. What do you think?
Yeah, so I'll speak for OJ. Don't worry about it. I'm going to say this. I think the Giants are the better overall set team right now. I think the Eagles are still trying to figure out what it is and what's going on. I mean, you shouldn't be bragging about beating the Browns by 4 points. It's very unprofessional as a coach, and I think that this guy is slowly losing the locker room as they're finding out that he is the least mature guy in the building. So, yeah, do not expect a big high-scoring game, but expect Daniel Jones to be hooking up with Malik Neighbors and Wandale Robinson. And as much as this is a revenge game for Saquon, it's also a revenge game for the city of New York, because Saquon dissed them so hard and went to the one rival. Though he could have gone to the Cowboys and it wouldn't have affected him as bad as him going to the Eagles. So the big FU is to Saquon Barkley from New York. It's going to be a kiss for the Big Apple. They're going to go.
I'm just saying.
To Saquon today.
I'm just saying the Knicks took care of the Sixers. The Mets took care of the Phillies. The Giants are going to take care of the Eagles.
Ooh, there it is. I'm not sleeping on the couch. I'm going with Eagles, but I think the Eagles are just a better team anyway. So I'm going to go Eagles in that matchup. All right, let's go. We got a couple other quick questions. Let's go to Greg for this one from Craig. Start one. Judy, Mooney, or Worthy?
As much as and I know Mark Cooper is gone, I do not like Jerry Jeudy. I think that Cleveland offense is trash. I like the matchup with Mooney against Seattle. I really do. I think that's going to be a shootout, and I think that Niner Chiefs game is going to be more ground and pound on both sides of the ball. So I would go with Mooney in this one.
I like it. Justin from Ice Cold OG Jones. With Cup out, does he put in Juju? Also a little banged up, or Shakir or Worthy in his wide receiver 2 spot.
So I'm going to go against what Greg said. I'm going to say Worthy because the one thing the 49ers do not do well is against a speedy receiver. They have shown in the past. You've seen McCole Hardman beat them up. You've seen random names off the practice squad from the Chiefs beat them up in the past. The Chiefs are about getting the ball in the space, the fast guys. 49ers do not cover space that well. I think that I'm starting Worthy. And I hate that I'm starting Worthy today, but I think Worthy's going to have a really good game.
Sean said, calm down on his Giants, bro. Like, damn, just beating them the hell up.
Fred.
Our boy Armando, what up? Appreciate you coming in today. This is so funny you're asking this question because I have the same actual issue going on in my own league. So, Fred, what do you think of this? He wants to know, with ETN out, does he go with Dearness Johnson, or how about playing Goodson against America's team?
Dang, I really don't know. This is one of the questions I really, really don't know.
Yeah, so I'll answer it since I actually have had the issue. So I literally, as we were talking, and I didn't know ETN was out for sure until Justin just mentioned it. So I was over here looking at my phone, and I'm like, do I pick him up? Do I pick him up? Do I pick him up? But I'm too afraid of basically what this looks like because we don't know if Dearness Johnson goes back to the ETN, the full-time load, or do they go back? Do they have Tanks Bigsby? Because there's such question, I don't want to go with the uncertainty. I know Goodson will get carries, and I know the Dolphins D, not for nothing's pretty soft against the running back or the run game. So that would be where I am actually heading myself today, is with Goodson, but I can see where your mind's at. The Patriots are also not so good against the run, and it's a rainy matchup. So certainly could see Dearness Johnson putting it up. But because of the questions and the amount of carries he may have, that's why I'm going to go with Goodson, because I feel like he just may have more chances today. So at least to answer that question is perfect because I had my own deal with it. So, all right, let's go. We got a couple more, and then we got to finish up our games here. Let's go to Greg on this one. Ice Cold OG, Purdy or Murray? What do you think?
Yeah.
Damn. I like Kyler Murray.
Murray, baby.
Just because he gives you that added element of the run. I know Marvis Harrison is banged up, but he still has McBride. So I think I will go with Murray because of that added element of the run. And that's the only reason. I think Purdy still has a decent game, even though that Kansas City secondary is tough. I'm going to go with Murray.
I like it. Justin from Black Bear Panda Reina, appreciate your question, and thank you, OG, as well. Wandell Robinson, Amari, Josh Downs, or Tank Bigsby in the flex, or does he pick up and play D-Hop or Jammo?
No, that's Bob Douglas again.
Again.
Oh shoot! You know what? God damn, dude, that is this fucking spamming site over here.
I know.
Anyways, I would pick up JMO right freaking now. Why is he on the waivers? How is he on the waivers? What are you talking about? Go get JMO right freaking now. Josh Downs does not work well with Anthony Richardson. Tank Bigsby, we don't know what the hell his role is going to be today. Amari Cooper, I have fears that he is going to get locked down today. And then Wan'Dale Robinson, very consistent. He would be my number 2 out of the entire thing. But if you're talking about JMO, go get JMO. Both teams are bad against receivers, and JMO is just looking more and more a part of this. He's like Weapon X for this team. Like, they just like to unleash him. Dan Campbell will love to show off all of his toys if he can, and JMO is becoming really quickly his favorite toy.
Yeah, I really agree. Wan'Dale Robinson will be a good, solid play, but you got so much upside with playing Jameson Williams, so I like that a lot. Fred, to you from Fammy, Douglas.
Ramondre Stevenson. I'm not talking about Douglas no more, damn it.
He is on. It's got to be Demario Douglas has like a record-setting day today because we just keep talking about him. Let's go from Sean Gregg. He wants to know, Deontay's pretty bang up. He's still Dalton's favorite target. My bad. This was the one I was going to give you. Brandon Gregory, Tank or Achane at the flex?
Come on. Achane, he's back. He's explosive. Achane. That's it.
I like
Don't even think about it. Don't overthink it.
He's I think Greg's becoming a little Dolphin fan.
Yeah, man.
He's
a little bit. I'm tired of you, Greg.
I've seen
Freddie, you would start HN over Tank Bigsby. Are you serious?
Yo, Jonas, what's up? Greetings from Germany, all the way from Germany. Oh my God, I was in Canada this past week. Now we got people in Germany. Gotta love that. Greetings to you, my friend. Start 3 at a full PPR, Justin. Winnington, Watson, Najee, or Bucky Irving?
Well, guten Tag to you, my friend. And let's go with start 3. I think I would just put Whittington on the bench. Let's go Watson, Najee, and Bucky Irving. I love those plays.
Yeah, Whittington could have some upside today, but like you said, I think you would see the Rams team get up a little early and see a little more running from them. So I feel you on that. Fred from CD, and by the way, Jonas, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Hope you enjoy your day over there and some NFL football. Fred from CD Smitty, flex 2 of these. Fred? Flex 2, he's got to sit 1. Tyreek, James Conner, or Evan Ingram? Which one he's sitting?
Who you picking, Fred? Say it.
No, I'm gonna pick Evan Ingram, man. Stop playing.
Pick 2, Fred.
Pick 2. Jesus.
Right.
Well, no, he's sitting 1. That's who he picked. He got Tyreek.
Evan Ingram, bro.
Yeah, he's all right.
Come on, man.
All right, let's go to you, Greg. You got Juan Pena Jr. Thank you so much, and thank you, CD, for your question. So he's got. All right, Fred. We'll see you next week.
I love you guys.
Appreciate you. Love you too. Have a great weekend. All right, he's got Hoofer as wide receiver 2 in flex. So his is his lineup. He's got Wan'Dale Robinson, Madison, Lazard, Josh Downs, Tyler Goodson, Leggett, Jacoby Myers, Christian Watson, Jordan Whittington, or I'm saying. But he needs Hoofer as number 2 and Hoofer a flex.
I'll go. Damn, I can't even say Madison because Amir White's back. I'll go.
No, you can't because Amir White sucks.
He does. But he's gonna take some carries from Madison. Jeez. I would go Wan'Dale Robinson for sure. And jeez, bro. And Madison.
Yeah, Madison's got a good matchup, like I mentioned earlier. The Rams D real soft against the run, so it could be a possible decent day for Madison. Maybe even some garbage pass time as well. So I like that. Christian Watson be somebody else I might consider in this. Like I said, I mentioned that earlier. That Packers game could end up being big, so I like that. All right, Juan, thank you so much for that. And he just said, I traded Josh Jacobs and take Dell for Justin Jefferson. Still got DJ Moore, still got Kenneth Walker, Kyron, and Breece Hall. Should he have faith in Madison and ETN replacing Jacobs? What do you think, Justin?
I mean, points-wise, I wouldn't have too much faith in ETN anymore. Madison is definitely a week-to-week, but yeah, replacing Jacobs. I mean, he's not been great, though. He's been more like a running back 2 at times. But so, yeah, I think you're fine with Madison and ETN. I don't think White's really coming back to a premier role. They've kind of shown that he kind of sucks this year. So I think Madison has definitely got the hold on the bigger role in that Raiders offense, whatever that means.
I think that not for nothing, that was a great trade for your squad as I'm looking at it. Like, you already have Kenneth Walker, Kyron, and Brees. Might as well upgrade your receiver spot with Justin Jefferson. So I like the trade that you did there as well. So, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily, put a lot of faith in Madison or ETN, but I don't think Jacob's been sniffing your lineup anyway. So maybe in a flex-worthy position, I think either one of those two guys will do you well. That's pretty impressive, Juan. I like that squad a lot. Good job. Thank you so much for your question. All right, let's move on. Finish these picks up. We got Raiders at Rams. Raiders lead the series 8-7. Last time we played was in 2022. Rams won 17-16. It's 3 in a row. The Rams are favored by 7, and the over-under is 43.5. We won't waste time with that one. Let's hammer it down. We all like the Rams in the matchup. Not much really to say. The Raiders right in flux with Devonta Adams. Sounds like they're about to be in a fire sale soon. So no biggie on that. Panthers at Commanders. Commanders lead the series 27-21. Last time they played was in 2021. Commanders won 27-21. Washington's favored by 9.5. The over/under is 43.5. Let's get the hammer out. We all like Washington in this matchup. Washington looks great. One of the teams I doubted this season, doubted Jaden Daniels. I know Greg was all over them, all over Jaden and the Commanders. So yeah, good job, Greg, on that. They are definitely looking legit. Let's go to some legit games here. Chiefs at Niners. Chiefs lead the series 9-7. We know last time they played Super Bowl rematch, 25-22 in OT. Chiefs have won 4 in a row in this matchup. San Francisco's favored by 2. The over/under is 47. I already know what Justin likes. So what do you think, Greg?
I like the Chiefs, man. I think they find a way to pull it out. I think the only reason why I don't, because Mason's hurt. It just feels kind of off for the Niners this year. So I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right,
no
Justin, who do you like?
Justin, no disrespect.
No, that's not good. So, I mean, you obviously know who I'm down with. 49ers. I think, they need to take this season and use it like the 94 season. Get the monkey off their back in the regular season before they can do it in the playoffs. So the Cowboys were the monkey in 94. They couldn't get over the hump with the Cowboys. They beat them in the regular season 21-14. I think today is going to be a replica of that. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to come down to the last drive. And I think Brock Purdy is going to show why he is Brock Purdy, why he is a franchise quarterback. And he's going to lead him to a victory.
I'm going to go Chiefs today, and only because I could definitely see the Niners winning at home. But the only reason I'm going with the Chiefs is because I feel like I keep picking against them, and they keep winning. They're hurting my picks, quite frankly. So because they just don't look all that, but they keep winning football games. So you know what? Let's just roll with it. Let's see if the Chiefs win today. I would not be surprised, though, at all if the Niners pulled that off. Jets at Steelers. Steelers lead the series 20-7. Last time they played was in 2022. The Jets won 24-20. They won 2 in a row, lots of 2s. New York Jets are favored by 1.5. The over/under is 39. Justin, who you got?
Jets, Jets.
Lay the hammer down.
There is no hammer on this one. What do you think, Greg?
Come on, you know who I picked. Lay the hammer down.
Well, I'll tell you why. I'm the lone wolf again in this matchup, and it's not just because I'm a Jets hater. I was the lone wolf last week. There's no way Adams is coming in here fixing this team in 1 week. This offensive line has got issues. So I'm not really big on the Jets, like coming out and all of a sudden playing like gangbusters. You got to like the Steelers, who have been playing winning football already. An answer to Russell Wilson has to be for a reason. We're not at their camp. So we'll see how this offense looks, but I like the Steelers and the, I guess, upset, if you will. Let's go to the Monday Night Delights. We'll go to Chargers at Cardinals first. Chargers lead the series 11-4. Last time they played was in 2022. The Chargers won 25-24 in a close one. 2 in a row for the Chargers. They're favored by 2. The over/under is 44. Justin, who you got?
I'm going to go with the Chargers. just better defense and better overall schematics. I mean, I think that really the Cardinals try and play with their hair on fire all the time, and that's such a hard way to play. If Kyler Murray is not totally bugging out, then he's almost useless. So, I look at the Chargers, it's a steady ship. They don't rock the boat a lot, and they kind of they play good defense, and they wear you out, and they take time off the clock. So I'm going to go with that scheme against the Cardinals, who have to play all the time in order for them to get a W. So I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Blue Yays, I apologize because I saw your question. I didn't get a chance, and I know we got that game coming up, so I want to get this in. Greg, who you like over here, Kirk or Whittington today?
I like Christian Kirk.
I like Christian Kirk too. Like I said, we've been talking about it a few times. I just see the game script for the Rams as Justin indicated, just be more of a run type day today because we're not going to need to throw a lot. So yeah, I agree. I think Christian Kirk's a better play here. But who do you like in this matchup, Greg?
I like the Chargers, man. I agree with Justin. I think J.K. Dobbins has a huge game. Arizona defense is sorry. Herbert just going to be the game manager today. He doesn't have to do much with that banged up ankle, but I think the Chargers pull it out.
I like it indeed. I'm with you guys on this. We got Fred and LeDuc got the opposing view. Wish they were here to express why, but I like the Chargers as well in this one. All right, let's go on to the final one, the Monday night. Can't wait for this one. Ravens at Bucks. Ravens lead the series 5-2. Last time they played was in 2022. The Ravens won 27-22. It's been 5 in a row for the Ravens. Baltimore is favored by 3.5. The over-under is 49. Justin, who do you like?
The Bucks. Especially with the Mike Evans information, I'm putting in my chips with the Bucks. Neither defense scares the offense. I mean, the Ravens defense is a shell of what it was last year, and it's really just going to be an offensive fest. And I'm going to go with the team on the other side who can air it out, who can do it on the ground, whereas, the Ravens have been just doing it mostly on the ground, and I think that they're kind of due for one of those chin check games. And I think that, feisty Bucks defense can give a little chin check to Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
I mean, the Bucks are feisty, bro. Not for nothing. It's going to be a great matchup. But Greg, who you like? I see you got a weird look on your face.
Who has stopped Derrick Henry this year? Nobody. And I don't see Tampa Bay doing it. And when they try to put 8 in the box to stop Derrick Henry, Lamar's been finding Zay Flowers, Bateman once in a while, and Isaiah Likely. No way the Bucks pull this out. And I like Tampa, but the Ravens right now are the best team in football, and they can run it, they can pass it. The defense just has to play decent because Baker, even though he's been playing well, he might make a mistake or two. I like the Ravens.
I like it. We got this quick question here for Justin. Who do you think here? PPR flex, JSN or Brian Thomas Jr.?
Yeah, sorry to pull that up. I just didn't want to get lost because I saw the all game streaming post 4 after. I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna lose this one. So Joe, if you're watching, which I know you are, I would go with JSN in this one. I think that it's going to be a lot of offense, and Geno was my DFS quarterback. I think he's going to put a lot of yards up there. JSN is going to be a recipient.
Yeah, I can see a lot of these crowds like DeMario Doug, all these guys. I can see where your head's at, but again, there's so many good fantasy I don't know if that's not a word, but fantasy relevant games that, again, that's one of them. The Seahawks in Atlanta, where you got two decent offenses going against porous defenses. So opportunities a bust, I guess, in those particular matchups. So that's why I would say go there. Let's go, Greg, real quick. We got start Pollard, Jacobs, or Mason. He's already starting Kyren from Martin. Thank you, by the way, earlier. That other, sorry, I have to scroll back up because we're getting spam like crazy. Joe, thank you for that last one. Martin, thank you. What do you think, Greg?
Well, I know Tajay Spears is not playing, so Pollard is going to get a lot of those carries. So it comes down between Jacobs and Jordan Mason. I just don't trust that shoulder with Jordan Mason, and because the 49ers have backs that can play and they can put Mason in certain situations. So I would go with Josh Jacobs, and that's just by process of elimination, and I would go with Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Pollard is your start on those three for sure. I mean, with with Spears being out and the Bills being absolutely atrocious against fantasy running backs. That's the guy I'm definitely going with in that one. All right, huge jazz for you, Greg. Tyreek or Douglas? So Mario Douglas, you were only laughing because Mario Douglas has been the question du jour today. We're going to go Tyreek on this one. Even though Tyrone Huntley, still getting acclimated, I still got another week with them. I do like that. Thank you so much for your question, however. And to finish it off, I like the Bucks too, Justin. I'm going with you on this one. The home team against, again, not to say that I'm going to be shocked if the Ravens win, because either way, I think both these offenses are great. The only difference I think is a little bit different, where the Ravens could kind of see where they could ground and pound against the Bucks, keeping that offense off the field. So there could be a way for that Ravens to pull this off, but I'm just going to go with the home team because I think they're pretty equal all the way around. We've got one last one before we put our hands together. Justin, from Hugh Jazz, Chubb or Eckler? That's a good one.
This is a good one because Eckler's got the better matchup for sure. But I'm thinking, like Coop said, why would they put him on a pitch count? And if they get even close to the red zone, they start sniffing the red zone in this game. Chubb's going to get in there, and Chubb's going to demand the ball. I'm going to go with Chubb because I think Brian Robinson is going to be the real back to have in Washington this week.
Yeah, Eckler didn't look all that great when he had the whole shebang to him. Now he might look a little better as that secondary back. Might see a little more action, as they say. So we'll see how that works out. But I do like Chubb. Agree with you there. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for all the questions. We appreciate you. As always, normally on Sundays, I know you guys got up early, so you might have missed church, but we hold church for you here. So put your hands together and pray, because we got our boy Fantasy Jesus here to bless those DFS lineups.
I'm here to save your fantasy rosters.
Welcome in, TSS family, to week number 7. I have 5 DFS picks from you, and Fantasy Jesus has been dabbling in a little bit of winemaking in this week. And guess what? We're also going to dabble in a little bit of money making, if you know what I mean. Let's get started with Geno Smith, league leader in passing yards. And we have a matchup against the Atlanta Falcons, who have been allowing big days to not so great quarterbacks. Andy Dalton last week had a good day. And Baker Mayfield, who's been having a great year, also had an amazing day against them. I look for Geno Smith to continue to be a league leader in passing yards after this week. Put him in your lineup. Then we got Saquon Barkley in a revenge game against the New York Giants. I think he's going to be rolling to 2 touchdowns this week. He's going to be thinking about John Mara with the first one and Joe Shane with the second one. So that's 2 reasons for you to put Saquon Barkley in your lineups this week, even though he's the most expensive running back in DFS. Then we got the receivers staying in that game. Malik Neighbors is back after his Travis Scott concert. He stimulated the brain with some Travis Scott sicko mode. And this week, I'm liking him against Big Play Slay because that is just a name nowadays. It means nothing. Unfortunately, Slay has become a shell of himself, and I think Malik Neighbors is going to take advantage of that. Next, we got a little bit of a sleeper. Jatavion Sanders, get to know the name. I think after this week, you're going to really enjoy putting him in DFS and maybe kind of claim him off of waivers. Jatavion Sanders had 5 catches, 49 yards last week. This week, he has a Deontay Johnson that's banged up. He might be 1 or 2 in that offense this week. Look to get Jatavion Sanders at a real cheap price in your DFS lineups. And then finally, we're going to end it with the Rams defense. This is solely based off of the Raiders offense sucking that bad. So I'm just going to say this. Go for the Rams defense. I think you're going to have a fun time if you do. That has been 5 picks from your Fantasy Jesus, and may your lineups be blessed.
I'm not sure who to start this week. Trust in your Savior.
Trust in your Savior, indeed. Listen, I just want to say thank you all for watching every week. But if you like what we do with all of our fun graphics and all that, you do not want to miss next week, because it is Halloween week. here at TSS, and we love to go all out for that. So make sure you check us out. Lots of the same great stuff, but we'll be including our famous You Got Ghosted segment as well, talking about players that you drafted and unfortunately you got ghosted on during this season. All right, well, we appreciate all of you. Make sure you check us out. We'll start our fun on Friday at 9 p.m. We'll do a whole fantasy breakdown for the week. And, of course, wake up with us next Sunday. Like I said, all Halloweened out on Friday as well, and on Sunday. We'll be celebrating the holiday and getting you ready for week 8. All right, guys, good luck today from us to you. We appreciate you, and we are out.
I'm no concern.